All right. Thank you very much. I want to thank all those that came out today in support of Bill 88. Bill 88 is a bill that's very close to my heart. It's one that's been in motion for now almost 2 years. And it kind of came to light some time ago, almost a year and a half ago, probably more than that, with the Leaving Care hearings. I learned a significant amount about child welfare and some of the issues that were surrounding it, and it disturbed me. So right now we find that youth who find themselves in need for the first time when they're 16 and 17 years old, because maybe they slipped through the cracks or life circumstances suddenly changed for them, are denied access to the very support services that are available to their same age peers who are already in the child welfare system. This seemed to me to be endemically unfair. And not only is it unfair, it takes people who could have a really good contributing experience in our communities and really puts them on a deficient standing where they can't actually get ahead as fast as they maybe otherwise would, and they become dependent on other systems in our social system, whether it be the correctional system, whether it be our healthcare system, or whether it be Ontario Works, or worse. Some of them don't have such a good story. There's lots of great stories out there, though, of success. We know that these kids, when given the proper opportunities, given the right opportunities to succeed, prove themselves to be not only very successful, but to be leaders in our communities. And we can think of a number of different examples of this. So right now we know that this gap that 16 and 17-year-olds are falling into needs to be filled. It's a violation of the Canadian Charter of Human Rights. It's a violation of the UN Convention of Rights of the Child, and we are the only jurisdiction in the developed world in Ontario that has not filled this gap yet, despite the fact that there's been lobbying to fill this gap over the past decade. So the time's now to fill that gap. Bill 88 is a great step towards filling that gap. There's lots more work to do in this area. We look forward to working with all the stakeholders who've helped develop this bill, and in fact, I like to say, and I really mean it, this is their bill. This is a bill for those kids. This is a bill for their voices to be heard. And I'm so proud to see so many of them have come here today, and many of the representatives to come here today to actually see this thing through. And it's my hope that all three parties will agree that this is something that needs to get done without delay, go straight to committee, and my hope is that the Premier will see it in her heart to make this go through third reading. This is one of those bills I think everyone can agree on, and it simply needs to happen. I have some guests here that would like to say a couple words on this bill of support and maybe some stories that will illustrate exactly why we're here today. So first up, Wendy Miller. We'd like to say a couple words in support of this, and please introduce yourself, Wendy. And
Sure, thank you very much. My name is Wendy Miller. I'm from the Ontario Association of Children's Aid Societies. This is the provincial association of all child welfare, child protection agencies in the province. And we'd like to start by saying, first, thank you very much to Mr. Jackson for his leadership on this bill. This is a bill, and this is an area of policy that Children's Aids have supported and long advocated for many, many years. On the surface of it, on the face of it, Children's Aid Societies know that this discrepancy that this bill addresses is wrong. Mr. Jackson referred to the kinds of protection services that young people might not receive, that their peers may receive. Given in an individual family, you could have children who are 13, 14, 15, and 16, and the 13 through 15-year-olds who may be experiencing abuse or neglect would be able to and be eligible for protective services that their 16-year-old sibling would not. That's wrong. Young people 16 and 17 may wish not to have the involvement of Children's Aid Society in their lives, but they should be eligible for it, and they should have a right to choose it and ask for it. I think it's also important to note that Children's Aid Societies would be, in supporting this bill, would want to know that other services that support families who are under stress and who may be experiencing the kinds of things that would lead to the need for protection, that range of services would be available to people, and we would be wanting to have discussions around those services as well. And also just would be delighted if this bill were to go forward at second reading debate today and move to committee, and that the OACAS and Children's Aid Societies would have an opportunity to continue to be involved in the discussion. Thanks very much.
So next up, I'd like to introduce Mary from Justice for Children. Right? Okay.
Yes, my name is Mary Birdsall. I'm the Executive Director at the Legal Clinic Justice for Children and Youth, and we are very happy to be supporting this bill and think that it's a really necessary and long called for change, or a step in the right direction to change that would offer services to 16 and 17-year-olds if they were looking for the support of children's aid societies. And I would echo everything that Wendy has said, and we're very pleased that the Association of Children's Aid Societies is supporting this and has been involved in trying to assist these young people who need this kind of support. At Justice for Children and Youth, most of our clients, or certainly a huge proportion of our clients, are the 16 and 17-year-olds who would, in many cases, appreciate the supports that they could get through children's aid involvement, but don't have it available to them, even if they were involved with children's aid societies when they were younger. So it's a wide-ranging problem that affects young people who have difficulties in many other areas of law and many other areas of their lives. One of the groups of people that we see who are very most affected by the inaccessibility of child welfare services are the young people that we work with who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. And I'm going to ask my colleague Joanna McDonald to come and speak to that.
Good afternoon, thank you, and thank you, MPP Rod Jackson, for giving us this opportunity today. As it's been mentioned, this is a long-coming bill and something that Justice for Children and Youth has been working and advocating for many, many years. And it's an honor to be part of a historic time to hopefully broaden the access to all children to have some level of access to protection services at our Children's Aid. I am the Street Youth Legal Services lawyer at Justice for Children and Youth, and a large number of my clients are not able to access appropriate services to their needs. And in recent times, there's been a lot of research seeing that we have an increasing number of homeless youth, and those youth are left with very little options. My job is to find the legal options to establish safety and security in lives of young people who, more often than not, have come from abusive situations, whether that be emotional or physical abuse. And as a lawyer, I come and I meet the young person, and the options provided are not appropriate. Ontario Works General Welfare is structured for rapid reemployment, where a child welfare service is helpful to the development and educational needs for the young person and providing another option. The other option for young people right now is to sue parents, and with fear and with lack of potential monetary resources from the parents, this is also not an appropriate option. Youth needing care for the first time after 16 are still children, and this bill recognizes the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child as youth up to age 18. The research we've done at our office shows that youth, unfortunately, in Ontario are the only youth not having at least some access to service. So Ontario certainly, as MPP Rod Jackson has said, are lagging far behind. Lastly, the consequences of this are extremely important. The lives of young people who are in need have multiple and complex issues involving social, psychological, and emotional needs. The cross-section demographics of homeless youth, you see a much higher population of people who identify as GLBTQ, who are having serious mental health problems, and who are newcomers, are newcomer youth to Ontario. And this bill is one step in the right direction to providing appropriate support for all children, and particularly those most important children. And I applaud the bill, and I do on behalf of Justice for Children and Youth. Thank you.
Thanks, Joanna. And lastly, but not leastly at all, I'd like Kayla to come up and explain what this means to her as well.
Thank you. My name is Kayla Sutherland. Today I'm here to represent the Provincial Advocate's Office of Ontario. I've been advocating for this bill and bills of all children for the past 7 years when I first entered care. I never actually thought that this would happen when I first started, so it's incredible for me that it's actually gotten this far. When I first started in care, I started here with Youth Can, YPEG, all these advocating things that opened so many doors. I actually left care for a short period of time, and because of those people, they got me back into care at 17, sorry. And through that, I was able to continue getting ECM, getting resources, and I became successful. I recently just finished working for the Ministry of Child Youth Services. I'm still advocating to this day. I'm actually doing very well, and I'm proud of my life. And that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Native Child and Family Services, who bent the rules, who made the exception, who let me back in. It changed my life. And that's why I'm here, because I'm a success. I'm able to tell you this, that it's necessary, that it needs to happen. Because all of my friends that I see every day who slip through the cracks, who were beaten every single day of their lives, and then they finally caught up the courage to leave that house and walk into an office, and they were told to leave. They were told that we don't care about you, it's too bad, you're too late. They're 16 years old, they don't know even what a covenant house is, they don't know where to get food, they don't know how to take care of themselves. They just walked out for the person that had been sexually harassing them, all these other things for so many years. And then the agency said, too bad. So sad. So this bill needs to be passed so that resources can be given to those who need it. And I know that whoever sees this, you know you wouldn't do that to your child at 16 years old. You would not do that to any child at 16 years old. So for the government to do this to all the children in this area is ridiculous. Miigwech, thank you.
Thank you very much to everybody who came today in support of this bill, and I look forward to earning the support of my colleagues today. I think Kayla's story says it better than anybody. That's who it's all about, and with this is an opportunity for us to fix it and do the right thing. And I look forward to earning the support of all my colleagues today. And I will mention Bill Walker, MPP for Bruce Grey Owen Sound, is here and present today in support, as is the rest of my caucus and leader who've indicated their support for this bill as well. And I'm very proud of that in my caucus. So thank you very much. Thank you for coming, everybody, and we'll see you at the vote. Thank you.